Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to know that your presence here today is no accident. There's something stirring within you, something calling you toward a life of greater abundance, greater flow, greater ease. And that calling, that gentle whisper in your heart, has led you to this very moment. I see you there, perhaps feeling a bit uncertain about your financial situation, maybe wondering if true abundance is really possible for someone like you. Let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. It absolutely is. You know, I've spent so many years working with people from all walks of life, and there's one thing I've learned with absolute certainty. Abundance is your birthright. It's not something you have to earn or prove you're worthy of. It's not something reserved for other people who seem to have it all figured out. Abundance flows to you naturally when you align yourself with the truth of who you really are. And today, we're going to explore 3 simple words that can unlock this flow in ways that might surprise you. I understand that right now you might be feeling frustrated with your current situation. Perhaps you've been working hard, doing all the right things, yet abundance seems to slip through your fingers like water. Maybe you look around and see others living the life you dream of, and you wonder what they know that you don't. Or perhaps you've tried affirmations and visualizations, but they feel empty, like you're just saying words without any real power behind them. If any of this sounds familiar, please know that you're not alone, and there's nothing wrong with you. What I want to share with you today isn't another complicated system or technique. It's not about working harder or pushing yourself more. Instead, it's about coming home to a truth that lives within you, a truth that, when awakened, naturally draws abundance into your life like a magnet draws iron. These 3 words we'll explore together have the power to shift your entire relationship with receiving, with worthiness, with the very flow of life itself. As we walk this path together, I want you to be gentle with yourself. There's no rush here, no pressure to get everything perfect right away. We're simply opening doors that have always been there, waiting for you to walk through them. And with each step, with each new understanding, you'll find yourself moving closer to the abundant life that's already yours. You just need to claim it. Now, let's begin by taking a look at something that affects every single one of us, yet we rarely talk about it openly. It's the invisible thread that connects our earliest memories to our current relationship with money, success, and abundance. From the moment we're born, we begin absorbing messages about what it means to have, to want, to receive, and to be worthy of good things in life. Think about the home you grew up in for a moment. What were the conversations around the dinner table when money came up? Was it discussed with ease and gratitude, or did tension fill the room? Did you hear phrases like money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy? Or perhaps money was never discussed at all, creating an atmosphere where abundance felt mysterious and unattainable. These early experiences planted seeds in your subconscious mind, seeds that have been growing and influencing your choices for years. If you grew up hearing that money was scarce, that you had to work incredibly hard just to get by, or that wanting more was somehow selfish, then part of you learned to expect struggle. Part of you began to believe that abundance wasn't meant for people like you. But here's what's beautiful about the human spirit. We have the power to plant new seeds. We can water them with love, tend them with care, and watch them grow into something magnificent. The beliefs you absorbed as a child were simply the best understanding available to you at the time. They were never the truth about your potential or your worthiness. Many people carry guilt about wanting abundance, as if desiring a comfortable, flowing life somehow makes them shallow or materialistic. But abundance isn't just about money sitting in a bank account. True abundance is about having the freedom to be generous, to pursue your passions, to take care of your loved ones, to contribute to causes you believe in. It's about living without the constant worry that keeps you awake at night, the stress that tightens your shoulders, the fear that whispers you're not safe. When we heal our relationship with abundance, we heal our relationship with receiving love, appreciation, opportunities, and all the good that life wants to give us. We learn that it's safe to have dreams, safe to want more, safe to expect wonderful things to show up in our lives. This healing doesn't happen overnight, but it begins the moment you decide that you're ready for something different. Your current financial situation, whatever it may be, is simply information. It's not a reflection of your worth as a person or your potential for growth. It's showing you where you are right now, and from this place of honest awareness, you can begin to make new choices. You can begin to speak differently to yourself about money and abundance. You can begin to notice the abundance that's already present in your life, even if it doesn't look the way you expected. Some people think abundance means having enough money to buy anything they want, but real abundance is deeper than that. It's the feeling of being supported by life itself. It's knowing that you're part of an infinite universe that has more than enough for everyone. It's trusting that when you align with your highest good, everything you need flows to you with ease and grace. There's something magical that happens when we truly understand this. We stop grasping and grabbing at opportunities out of fear. We stop trying to control every outcome. Instead, we begin to move through life with a different energy, an energy that naturally attracts what we need. This is the energy of someone who knows they belong in a world of abundance. The words we speak, both out loud and in the privacy of our own minds, are far more powerful than most people realize. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every conversation you have with yourself creates ripples in the fabric of your reality. These ripples travel out into the world and come back to you as experiences, opportunities, and circumstances. When you wake up in the morning and the first thought that crosses your mind is worry about money, you're setting an energy pattern for your entire day. When you look in the mirror and think thoughts of not being good enough or smart enough or deserving enough, you're literally programming your subconscious mind to look for evidence to support those beliefs. But the opposite is also true. When you speak words of love, appreciation, and possibility, you're creating a completely different pattern of energy. Your body responds to every word you speak as if it were a direct command. When you say, "I can't afford this," your nervous system relaxes into a state of limitation. When you say, "I'm always struggling with money," your brain begins to filter your reality to show you more evidence of struggle. But when you begin to speak words of abundance and possibility, something beautiful starts to happen. Your body begins to feel different. Your posture changes. Your breathing deepens. You start to notice opportunities that were there all along, but were invisible to you before. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. This is about recognizing that your words are tools of creation, and you get to choose which tools you use. When you're facing a genuine challenge with money, you can acknowledge it honestly while also speaking words that open you up to solutions and possibilities. You can say, "I'm working through some financial challenges right now, and I'm open to new ways of creating abundance in my life." The connection between your thoughts, your words, and your physical experience runs deeper than most people realize. Your heart rate, your hormone levels, your immune system, even your digestion, all of these respond to the energy of your internal dialogue. When you live in a constant state of worry about money, your body stays in a state of stress. This stress affects your ability to think clearly, make good decisions, and notice opportunities when they appear. But when you begin to shift your internal dialogue toward words of trust, gratitude, and possibility, your body responds by moving into a state of ease and flow. In this state, you're naturally more creative, more intuitive, more open to receiving the good that life wants to bring you. You start to see connections you didn't notice before. You meet people who can help you. You find yourself in the right place at the right time. The beautiful thing about working with the power of words is that you can start right now, exactly where you are. You don't need to wait until your circumstances change. You don't need to have everything figured out. You simply need to begin choosing your words with love and intention. When you catch yourself speaking words of limitation or lack, you can gently pause and ask yourself, what would I rather create with my words right now? Then you can speak something that feels better, something that opens your heart instead of closing it. This practice becomes easier with time, like developing any new skill. At first, you might need to consciously remind yourself to choose loving words. But eventually, speaking in ways that support your abundance becomes as natural as breathing. And when that happens, you'll look back and be amazed at how much your life has transformed simply by changing the way you talk to yourself and about yourself. Now that we've explored how your words create your reality, I want to share with you the first of 3 sacred words that have the power to transform your entire relationship with abundance. This word is so simple, yet so profound, that when you truly understand its power and begin to live from this energy, everything in your life begins to shift in the most beautiful ways. The first word is thank. Now, before you think this is just about saying thank you when someone does something nice for you, let me explain what I mean by living from the energy of thank. This word carries within it the vibration of appreciation, recognition, and deep acknowledgement of the abundance that is already flowing in your life. When you truly embody this word, you become a magnet for even greater abundance. Most people spend their days focusing on what's missing, what's wrong, what they don't have enough of. They wake up thinking about their bills, their problems, their limitations. But when you begin each day from the energy of thank, you immediately shift your focus to what's already working in your life. You notice the breath moving in and out of your body, the roof over your head, the people who care about you, the opportunities that surround you. This shift in focus changes everything. There's something magical about genuine appreciation that goes far beyond just feeling good. When you live from the energy of thank, you're actually telling the universe, yes, I see the good you're bringing me and I'm ready for more. You're training your mind to look for abundance rather than lack. You're opening your heart to receive rather than closing it in fear. You're aligning yourself with the flow of good that wants to come into your life. But here's what's really beautiful about this practice. You don't have to wait until you have everything you want to begin saying thank. You can start exactly where you are, with exactly what you have right now. You can say thank for the warm water that flows from your faucet, for the electricity that lights your home, for the food in your refrigerator. You can say thank for your ability to read these words, for your capacity to learn and grow, for the dreams that live in your heart. When you make this a daily practice, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your nervous system relaxes into a state of trust and ease. Your body begins to feel safer, more open, more receptive. And from this state of openness, you naturally begin to notice opportunities, connections, and possibilities that were invisible to you before. It's as if appreciation polishes the lens through which you see the world, making everything clearer and brighter. The energy of thank also has a profound effect on your relationships with money and abundance. Instead of approaching your finances from a place of fear or worry, you can begin to appreciate the money that does flow into your life. You can say thank when you pay your bills, recognizing that you have the ability to exchange money for the things you need. You can say thank when you receive any amount of money, whether it's your paycheck, a small refund, or even a penny you find on the ground. This practice might feel strange at first, especially if you've been used to complaining about your financial situation. But as you continue to appreciate what you have, you'll notice that your relationship with money begins to feel lighter, more positive, more flowing. Money stops being this heavy, stressful thing and becomes simply another form of energy that flows through your life. The second sacred word builds beautifully upon the first, and it's one that many people struggle with deeply. This word is receive. Now you might think receiving is easy. After all, who doesn't want good things to come into their life? But if you really pay attention to your patterns, you might be surprised at how many ways you unconsciously block yourself from receiving the abundance that's trying to reach you. Think about the last time someone offered you a genuine compliment. Did you accept it gracefully, or did you deflect it, minimize it, or immediately point out your flaws? When someone offers to help you, do you accept with gratitude, or do you insist you can handle everything yourself? When opportunities appear in your life, do you say yes with excitement, or do you immediately think of all the reasons why you're not qualified or ready? These seemingly small moments reveal so much about your capacity to receive. And here's the truth: your ability to receive compliments, help, love, and appreciation is directly connected to your ability to receive abundance in all its forms. When you block yourself from receiving the small gifts life offers you every day, you're also blocking yourself from receiving the bigger gifts that want to come your way. The word receive invites you to soften, to open, to allow good things to flow into your life without having to earn every single one of them. It asks you to consider that maybe, just maybe, you're worthy of abundance simply because you exist. Not because of what you've accomplished or how hard you've worked, but because you're a beloved part of this magnificent universe. Many people struggle with receiving because they've learned to believe that they have to give in order to be worthy of getting. They think they need to help everyone else first before they can accept help for themselves. They believe they need to be perfect before they deserve good things. But the energy of receive teaches you something revolutionary, that you can be worthy of abundance exactly as you are right now, with all your imperfections and struggles and beautiful humanity. When you begin to practice the energy of receive, you start to notice how often abundance is actually trying to reach you. You notice the opportunities you've been dismissing, the help you've been refusing, the love you've been deflecting. You realize that the universe has been offering you gifts all along. You just weren't in a state to accept them. Learning to receive also means learning to be comfortable with having good things in your life. Some people unconsciously sabotage their abundance because deep down, they don't feel safe having too much good. They worry that if they have abundance, others will judge them, or that something bad will happen to balance it out, or that they'll somehow lose themselves in the process. But true receiving is about understanding that your abundance actually allows you to give more, love more, and contribute more to the world around you. The practice of receiving starts with small moments throughout your day. When someone holds the door open for you, instead of rushing through with barely a nod, you can pause, make eye contact, and genuinely receive their kindness. When someone compliments your work instead of brushing it off, you can take a breath and let their words touch your heart. When you find a parking space right where you need it, instead of dismissing it as luck, you can appreciate it as a small gift from the universe. Now we come to the third and most powerful word, the one that ties everything together and creates the complete abundance formula. This word is trust. And while it might seem simple, it's actually the master key that unlocks your capacity to live in true abundance flow. Trust is what allows you to say thank even when everything isn't perfect yet. Trust is what gives you the courage to receive even when your mind tells you that you don't deserve it. Trust is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the energy that allows you to take inspired action without needing to control every outcome. When I speak of trust, I'm not talking about blind faith or pretending that challenges don't exist. I'm talking about a deep cellular knowing that you are supported by life itself, that there's an intelligence in the universe that wants you to thrive, that even when things don't go according to your plan, there's often something even better trying to unfold for you. Most people live in a constant state of trying to figure everything out, trying to control every variable, trying to force outcomes through sheer willpower. But this energy actually pushes abundance away because it comes from fear rather than love. It's based on the belief that if you don't make everything happen yourself, nothing good will come to you. Trust invites you to release this exhausting way of living and step into a much more flowing, graceful dance with life. Trust allows you to plant seeds of intention and then relax into the knowing that they will grow in perfect timing. It gives you the patience to nurture your dreams without desperately grasping at results. It helps you stay open to opportunities that might look different from what you expected, but could be exactly what you need. When you combine all three words, thank, receive, trust, something magical happens. You begin to live in what I call abundance flow. You appreciate what you have, which creates more to appreciate. You open yourself to receive good things, which allows even greater good to find you. You trust in the process, which relaxes you into a state where abundance can flow naturally through your life. These three words work together like a beautiful symphony. Gratitude opens your heart. Receiving opens your hands. Trust opens your future. Together, they create an energy pattern that is absolutely irresistible to abundance in all its forms. Not just money, but love, opportunities, health, creativity, joy, and all the richness that life has to offer. The beautiful thing is that you don't have to master all three words at once. You can start with whichever one feels most accessible to you right now. Maybe gratitude comes easily to you, so you begin there and let that energy naturally open you to receiving and trusting. Or perhaps you're ready to practice receiving, and that willingness helps you find things to be grateful for and reasons to trust. The words support each other, and as you strengthen one, the others naturally grow stronger too. Now that you understand the power of these three sacred words, let's explore how to weave them into the fabric of your daily life. Because understanding something intellectually is wonderful, but the real transformation happens when you begin to live these principles moment by moment, day by day, until they become as natural as breathing. I want to share with you some simple practices that can help you embody the energy of thank, receive, and trust throughout your day. These aren't complicated rituals or time-consuming exercises. They're gentle ways of being that you can integrate into your existing routine, allowing abundance to flow more naturally through your life. Let's start with how you begin each morning. Before you even get out of bed, before you check your phone or start thinking about your to-do list, you can spend just a few moments in the energy of thank. Place your hand on your heart and appreciate three things about your life. They can be as simple as the comfortable bed you slept in, the fact that you woke up with a new day full of possibilities, or the love that exists in your life in any form. This practice immediately shifts your energy from whatever worries might be waiting for you into a frequency of appreciation and abundance. As you move through your morning routine, you can continue this practice of appreciation. Thank the water as it flows over your body in the shower. Appreciate the nourishment in your breakfast. Feel grateful for your ability to move, to think, to make choices about how you want to spend your day. This isn't about forcing positive thoughts when you don't feel them. It's about gently training your attention to notice the good that's already present in your life. Throughout the day, practice the art of receiving in small ways. When someone smiles at you, receive that gift fully instead of rushing past it. When you see something beautiful, a flower, a sunset, a child laughing, pause for just a moment and let that beauty fill your heart. When you accomplish something, even something small, receive your own appreciation instead of immediately moving on to the next task. These moments of receiving create openings in your energy field for larger forms of abundance to enter. In the evening, you can practice trust by reflecting on how the day unfolded. Notice the moments when things worked out better than you expected. Appreciate the synchronicities, the helpful people who crossed your path, the solutions that appeared when you needed them. This practice helps you see that you are indeed supported, that life is working with you rather than against you. Even on difficult days, you can find small evidences of this support if you look for them. One of the most powerful practices you can develop is what I call mirror work with abundance. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes with love, and speak words of abundance directly to yourself. You might say something like, I am grateful for all the abundance flowing into my life. I am open to receiving even greater good. I trust that life supports me in every way. At first, this might feel awkward or even untrue, but as you continue this practice, speaking these words with genuine love for yourself, you'll begin to feel their truth in your body. Journaling can also be a beautiful way to deepen your relationship with abundance. You might write about what you're grateful for each day, the ways you noticed abundance showing up in your life, or the dreams you're nurturing with trust and patience. Writing helps make these practices more concrete and allows you to track your growth over time. You might be surprised to look back after a few weeks and see how much your relationship with abundance has shifted. The key to all of these practices is gentleness. You're not trying to force yourself to feel abundant when you don't. You're simply creating more space in your life for abundance to be noticed, received, and appreciated. You're developing new habits of attention that support your highest good. And most importantly, you're treating yourself with the love and kindness that naturally opens your heart to receive all the good that life wants to give you. Now let's address something that often stands in the way of abundance: the old stories and beliefs about money that you may have inherited from your family, your culture, or your past experiences. These stories live in your subconscious mind like old programming, influencing your choices and experiences in ways you might not even realize. But with love and patience, you can heal these old patterns and create new, empowering stories about your relationship with abundance. Many of the beliefs you carry about money aren't even your own. They were passed down through generations, adopted from the environment you grew up in, or formed during moments of stress or trauma. Perhaps your grandmother lived through the Great Depression and carried a deep fear of not having enough. Perhaps your parents fought about money, creating an association between abundance and conflict in your mind. Perhaps you experienced a financial loss at some point that left you feeling vulnerable and afraid to trust again. These experiences created neural pathways in your brain, emotional patterns in your body, and beliefs in your subconscious mind. But here's what's beautiful about being human. You have the power to create new pathways, new patterns, new beliefs. You can honor your past experiences without being imprisoned by them. You can learn from your challenges without letting them define your future. The first step in healing old money stories is to become aware of them. Notice what you automatically think when you see someone with obvious wealth. Do you judge them? Do you assume they're greedy or that they've taken advantage of others? Notice what happens in your body when you think about having a lot of money yourself. Do you feel excited and expansive, or do you feel anxious and uncomfortable? These reactions give you valuable information about the unconscious beliefs that may be limiting your abundance. Some people carry guilt about wanting financial abundance, as if caring about money makes them spiritually shallow. But money is simply energy, a tool that can be used for tremendous good in the world. When you have financial abundance, you can be more generous with others. You can support causes you believe in. You can take better care of your health and well-being. You can pursue your passions and gifts without the stress of financial survival. There is nothing unspiritual about wanting to live comfortably and contribute meaningfully to the world. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in healing your relationship with abundance. You might need to forgive yourself for past financial mistakes, for times when you didn't value yourself enough to ask for what you were worth, or for choices that didn't turn out as you hoped. You might need to forgive others who taught you limiting beliefs about money, understanding that they were doing their best with their own level of awareness. You might even need to forgive money itself, releasing any resentment you hold toward it as a source of stress or conflict. As you heal these old patterns, you can begin to consciously create new stories about abundance. You can decide that money flows to you easily and frequently. You can believe that you deserve to be well compensated for your gifts and contributions. You can trust that there's more than enough abundance for everyone, and someone else's success doesn't diminish your own possibilities. These new stories become the foundation for new experiences with abundance. The process of rewriting your money story isn't about denying reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about choosing which aspects of your experience to focus on and build upon. When you consistently focus on stories of abundance, possibility, and flow, you train your mind to look for evidence to support these stories. And what you look for, you find. What you focus on expands in your experience. Living in abundant flow is like learning to dance with life rather than wrestling with it. It's about developing a sensitivity to the natural rhythms of giving and receiving, expansion and rest, planting and harvesting. When you're in abundant flow, you stop trying to force outcomes and instead learn to recognize and follow the currents of opportunity and inspiration that are always moving through your life. One of the most beautiful aspects of abundant flow is learning to recognize abundance in all its forms, not just money. True abundance includes having loving relationships, vibrant health, creative expression, meaningful work, inner peace, and a sense of purpose. When you acknowledge and appreciate these forms of abundance, you create space for even greater richness to enter your life. You realize that you're already living in an abundant universe. You just need to open your eyes to see it. In abundant flow, you understand that sometimes the most loving thing life can do is redirect you away from what you think you want towards something even better. That job rejection might be clearing the path for a perfect opportunity you couldn't have imagined. That financial setback might be teaching you something valuable about your relationship with security and trust. That unexpected expense might be showing you resources and support you didn't know you had. This doesn't mean you become passive or stop taking action toward your goals. Abundant flow includes inspired action, the kind of action that feels energizing and aligned rather than forced and desperate. When you're in flow, you'll feel called to make certain phone calls, to explore particular opportunities, to connect with specific people. These impulses arise naturally from your connection to the abundance that's always trying to express itself through you. Living in abundant flow also means learning to rest in the spaces between manifestations. There are natural cycles in all of life, times of planting, times of growing, times of harvesting, and times of rest. In our fast-paced world, we often try to skip the rest phases and keep pushing constantly. But rest is when integration happens. Rest is when new ideas are born. Rest is when you become available to receive the inspiration and opportunities that want to find you. Trust becomes easier when you start to notice the signs that abundance is already flowing toward you. These signs might be subtle at first, an unexpected opportunity arising, money arriving from a forgotten source, people offering help just when you need it. As you acknowledge and appreciate these signs, they become more frequent and obvious. You develop what I call abundance vision, the ability to see the good that's constantly flowing through your life. The more you practice living in abundant flow, the more natural it becomes. You stop viewing abundance as something you have to chase or earn and start experiencing it as your natural state. You realize that you don't create abundance. You simply remove the blocks that prevent it from flowing freely through your life. And those blocks, those old patterns of fear and limitation, dissolve naturally in the presence of love, gratitude, and trust. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to these ideas, for caring enough about your life to invest this time in your growth and healing. The fact that you're drawn to abundance isn't about being greedy or materialistic. It's about recognizing that you have gifts to share with the world, and abundance gives you the freedom and resources to share those gifts fully. The three words we've explored today, thank, receive, trust, are not just concepts to think about. They're energies to embody, frequencies to live from, ways of being that can transform every area of your life. Start small. Start where you are. Start with whatever feels most authentic to you right now. If all you can manage is one moment of genuine gratitude each day, that's perfect. If you can only practice receiving by accepting one compliment gracefully this week, that's beautiful. If trust feels scary, but you're willing to try trusting for just 5 minutes at a time, that's exactly what your soul needs. Remember that abundance is not a destination you arrive at someday when everything is perfect. Abundance is a way of walking through the world right now, right here, with whatever you have, wherever you are. It's seeing the glass as not just half full, but recognizing that the glass itself is a miracle, that the water is a gift, that your ability to drink is a blessing, and that more water is always available when you need it. Your abundant life is not waiting for you to become someone different. It's waiting for you to remember who you truly are, a beloved child of this magnificent universe, worthy of all good things, deserving of love and support, and yes, material abundance too. You are enough exactly as you are, and from this place of enoughness, all things become possible. Take these three words with you into your life. Let them become your companions, your guides, your pathway home to the abundance that has always been yours. And trust, dear one, that as you walk this path with love and patience for yourself, you will discover that the abundant life you've been dreaming of was never far away. It was simply waiting for you to say yes to receiving it. The universe is conspiring in your favor. Abundance is your birthright, and love is the key that opens every door. Thank you for letting me share this journey with you today. Now go forth and claim the beautiful, abundant life that is waiting for you.